Hello, everyone. Welcome to Online Seller UK podcast. And today we've got Nadine from BidX. And Nadine will be sharing some insight with regards to Amazon advertising and how BidX Tools can help Amazon sellers. Hello, Nadine.
Hi, Prabhat. Thank you for
Hi.
the invitation.
No problem. So welcome to Online Seller UK podcast. And it will be good to start, Nadine, with some details about yourself and what do you do?
Okay, cool. My name is Nadine. I'm the co-founder of BidX, and my background is business information systems, so more the techie part. And what we do is we automate and optimize Amazon PPC for sellers, agencies, and vendors.
Excellent. So, so let's get into details of Amazon advertising. So, compared to past few years, let's take 5 years back, and compared to that time and now, when we look how Amazon sellers are growing and demand. So, how does PPC is playing the role within that, and what's your thought on that?
Okay, yeah, it's becoming more and more important. Within the last years, it wasn't that important because you could already get some impressions via organic search. But there are coming more and more sellers, especially since 2017. There are so many sellers, and everybody is doing PPC now. So if you don't do PPC, you don't get any impressions. So it's really important today to do PPC on Amazon.
Okay, so with that in mind, what sort of percentage are you thinking in terms of sales? So are you saying we need to do PPC to get 50% of the sales through advertising and 50% organic?
That depends on whether you are a brand or if you do private label, I guess. So especially if you do private label, it's really important. So the brands, they do pretty much of the sales through organic sales, but if you do private label, it's, I would say, between 30 and 50% through PPC.
Excellent. And what's your thought on Vendor Central? Do they actually need to do any advertising at all?
Yeah, they should, especially when it comes to brand protection. So a pretty good example for that is Finish.
Okay.
They do really good brand protection. So if you go to a product detail page of Finish, you see everywhere it's just Finish. There is no Mart or whatever brands they have for dishwasher tubs. So I guess it's really important for them to do it as well, but not as important as for private label sellers.
Okay. Okay. And then it comes down to trying to think, how do you actually manage this advertising campaign? So, and I believe that's when your tools come in play. Is that right?
Yeah, right. So we start from the campaign creation. So even if your current campaign creation or campaign structure is not the best, or if you don't have any campaigns at the moment, you can start with a tool like BidX, and we do the campaign creation for multiple products at once.
Okay.
And after that, we do the whole optimization, from the bid optimization to the keyword management. For example, we even do the negative keyword management. And exactly that's what we do. And especially for brands and for vendors, they do like the feature to boost campaigns. So when it's Prime Day or something like that,
okay,
or you have another promotion, you can just boost your campaigns.
Okay.
And it's totally easy to handle all your campaigns and your strategies.
Okay. Now you've mentioned a couple of things that are worth discussing about, and I'm sure the viewers would be interested. So with regards to optimization, that's where the lot of time and money is invested on that.
Yeah.
Now you mentioned that now the tool you have can optimize. So can you explain a little bit, how does that optimization work?
So as I already said, it's the bid optimization. So for example, if we recognize that the bid is too high or the bid is too low, we would change the bid accordingly. Okay. So for that, to recognize if it's too high or too low, we need some kind of data. So you should at least spend, for example, £1,000 pounds per month on advertising. Otherwise, there's not enough data to do an optimization with an algorithm. So, and this is where we come in then. We do the bid optimization and the keyword management. If we figure out that the keyword is performing very, very bad or very good, then we can adjust it, and then we can shift it to another campaign where we can handle it more easily.
Yeah, and it's all done automatically through your system.
Yeah, it is.
Okay, so so let's take example of if I've started today with using the campaign tools you have with BidX, and are you just saying I need to spend £1,000 or €1,000 to get things moving forward? Then after that, you'd see a proper optimization. Is that right?
Yeah, right. So there is this KPI for Amazon sellers. It's the ACoS.
Okay.
That's the ratio between the sales and the costs.
Yeah.
And we can improve this figure by around 30%.
Wow.
In only 8 weeks. So yeah.
Yes. Right. Okay. That's a good figure. That's a good figure to have. Typically a person may spend about 15 to 20 hours a week at least trying to look through the campaigns, because some of the campaigns can be huge, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. Right. I think it's a good thing. And another part of the thing you've mentioned about holiday time, and you've mentioned things like word boost. So what exactly does that mean?
So what we do then is that we change the strategy. For example, if you first go for break even, means that if you sell the product for £20,
okay,
and your margin is, for example, £2, then your margin is 10%.
Okay.
And so you break even with 10%. But for example, for promotion times, maybe you want to get more visibility and more impressions. So then we wouldn't bring your ACoS, the ratio between sales and cost, to 10%. We would, for example, bring it to 20%.
Okay.
So then we would increase all the keyword bids, the default bids for the ad groups, and the budgets for the campaigns. So that's what we do for Prime Days, for example.
Okay, no, that's interesting to see. So you're saying to increase sales at a time where we can get more sales. Okay, that's cool. So other area I'd like to discuss about is about ACoS, which you rightly mentioned. So ACoS, as it stands, advertising cost of sales, and many of us know about it, and some of us may not know. So that's your advertising cost of sales. So what's your thought? Is that a right way to measure the effectiveness of the campaigns?
It is one way, but it's probably not the best. So what we now want to focus on is the total ACoS. So we want to bring in the organic sales, and then the customer can say, okay, my total ACoS should be 20%. Because at the moment with the ACoS, we don't know how my advertising affects my organic sales. So, but that's actually what we want to know. And we want to improve our whole sales funnel. So we don't only want to have a good advertising, but for example, just cash all the organic sales by advertising, and afterwards we have less organic sales. So that's not what we want to have.
Okay.
We want to have a good total ACoS in the end.
Okay. Perfect. So I think there is quite a lot of details that we've discussed today with regards to optimization. Other thing a lot of people do ask me when I deliver Amazon advertising training is about capping the ACoS. And if we have a system where we can cap a ACoS at a particular point, because this is obvious because everybody's looking for a tight margin. And what people do ask is if we are able to cap it for 10% or 20% and a system will optimize it within that. Now, is this something that's possible within the system, and how does this work?
It is possible. So we are looking right onto the search term level. So we are figuring out if the search term or the keyword gets to this, or is possible to get to this ACoS with the current bid, for example, and then we change the bids so that you can get to this ACoS. It is possible, but at some point it's not always recommendable to do so, because you should also have a look on the scale effects you could get when you just sell more. So sometimes we just recommend to go for break even. Because then you have scale effects. For example, like the shipping is cheaper, or you can get better purchase costs or prices. So that's what we always should keep in mind.
Okay. Yeah, fair enough. Okay. So there are a few kinds of adverts, as we know. The ASIN targets, the category targets, and I've not touched base on sponsored brands yet, but within the sponsored products. Now, these are the different, and can we do these through the system, all of these adverts?
Yeah, we can do so. We don't do keyword management for sponsored brands at the moment, but all the others formats are supported. And there is a new format now, it's sponsored display.
Yes.
We don't support it yet, but within the next weeks, we will definitely support this as well.
Okay. Yeah. So sponsored display adverts, it's an interesting one, because it doesn't give an insight of where our product's been displayed. So so I'm not too sure whether that's going to be effective for everyone. I've just earlier today I was looking at one US campaigns, and there was quite a lot of heavy spend, but there was no conversion at all, and we didn't know where the traffic, under which product it's been displayed, and things like that. So it's pretty early days yet.
We'll see where this goes to, definitely.
Yeah, definitely. So I think we've had quite a lot of details discussed, and this is pretty good. So is there anything else you'd like to add to this?
Maybe one thing that some of our customers always have troubles with, kind of. So what I would like to say is, what is the basis for every advertising? So customers come to us and they say, okay, my ACoS is super high, but I can't change it. And sometimes that depends on the product detail pages. For example, if your pictures are shitty and your title is only 5 words or something like that, you don't have a description, that's really bad for the advertiser, because your product detail page is always the basis for, or the foundation for, all of your advertising. So that's really important to us.
Okay, excellent. Right. Okay. So if somebody wants to get to you, where can we find you?
Where can you find me? Online?
Yes.
You can find me via LinkedIn, our website, and you can find me on the MFest UK next week. So 17th of October.
Yeah, excellent. Yeah, so you'll be with us. So for if anybody's from registered with AMFest, please do say hello to Nadine next week in Manchester. Nadine may be able to talk through a bit more about your campaigns.
Yeah.
Well, I think this comes to a close. Thank you very much, Nadine, for your time, and I'll speak to you soon.
Thank you. Speak to you soon.
Bye for now. Bye.